Whoa. And welcome into another episode of Farm to Fame. I am Kelsey Wingert, coming to you from ATL, Georgia. That is Peter Moylan, coming to you from Australia, folks.
Yes, I am.
What time is it there right now?
It is 9:27 in the morning on December 1st. So Merry Christmas to everyone. You guys haven't got here yet, but the future is bright. Look at it, really bright. It's really bright. So
yeah.
And my daughter just woke up. Come here, baby. Come say hello.
Hi.
You just woke up.
She can't hear me, right?
She can't hear you, but I can hear. Let me just.
How did she sleep?
How did you sleep?
How did you sleep?
Good.
Oh, that's good.
You're very warm. Daddy picked you up a cruffin with Nutella in it over there. So why don't you go and grab that and eat that for breakfast?
What's a cruffin?
It's a muffin and a croissant combined with stuffed with Nutella. Bring it over, babe. They want to see it. It's in the bag right there, honey.
Oh my gosh, while this is happening, that is also our captain, our pilot, Maddie Mass, coming to us from either New Jersey or New York. They all confuse me up there with where they live.
Can I show them what it looks like?
You're in New Jersey?
Yep. In New Jersey, in need of a cruffin.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call in Australia a cruffin. It is made out of croissant in the shape of a muffin stuffed with Nutella. I always say that it's important to have a nutritious breakfast when you're 7 years old, and Nutella stuffed croissants with sugar on them is what I suggest to everybody. So
is it Nutella cruffin?
It's Nutella cruffin. You want to sit over there and eat it? You can sit right there. It's on the other side.
Is the whole inside stuff, is it a lot of Nutella?
There's probably like a good heaped spoonful of Nutella in the middle of the cruffin.
Let's see how many times Pete cusses on this episode with his daughter sitting 4 feet away from him.
0. I am a conditioned non-swearer when there's children's around.
Well, yeah, Pete is back in Australia. So just, can you fill everybody in on like what you're doing there? What's going on?
So we flew in and we made it. And I'm here to hopefully get some sort of training going for some Australian baseball players. And it's all up in the air right now with everything that's happening. But look, I'm in Australia. I've seen my daughters, and that's basically as good as I can hope for right now. So after 2 years, Leilani got to hang out with her sisters. So
Aww.
it's been really cool, and the girls have been over here every day. So it's like I'm doing school runs. It feels right.
Picking up muffins.
Cruffins. Yeah.
Love Australia for you, truly.
I'm down here till February 10th, trying to get some sort of look, Australian baseball has been decimated the last few years. We had the Olympic qualifiers that we couldn't go to. We haven't been able to play any national tournaments for 2 years. Guys haven't even been able to train in this country because they've been locked down. Some of them, half the country's not. It's just been weird, obviously, for everybody. So, but a real hit has junior baseball and those tournaments that guys are so used to playing in that they've not been able to compete in for the last 2 years. So I'm trying to come down here, and if we, at the very least, give these guys some sense of involvement or team, and just have somewhere to go once a week where we can just hang out. Yeah.
That's so nice of you.
Well, it's got to be done.
Wow. A man of the people.
Try to be.
He's the next commissioner. I'm going to say it until it happens. Manifest it.
Oh, man. Well, speaking of the commissioner, should we talk about that for a second? And I didn't realize that he was this silly.
Silly.
So he sent me the article. I'm not going to pay for it because I'm not going to justify giving Rob Manfred any kind of my time. But it was effectively said that they used 2 different baseballs last year that were designed to perform differently. So I was under the impression that it was all, we made some adjustments to the ball in years past, but now we've come up with a solution that we found that works for everything. That was my impression of what was happening over the last couple of years. Apparently, it's been by design, where they're sending certain balls to certain teams and other balls to other teams. And I'm not sure how true all this stuff is, and if it comes out to be true right before the CBA, then this is big stuff. So,
Yeah.
you know, every single article that seems to come out about the CBA or about the future of baseball is just not looking very positive. But you look at how good baseball was for the last 12 months, and it's just such a shame. It's just we need to figure out, you know, a solution to this sooner rather than later. And the solution is not to just throw money at the big free agents, because that's not solving anything. All they're doing is putting lip service or ear service or eye service to the off season so far by throwing cash at people that were always going to make money. Like, this isn't the issue that people have. They've got to dig deeper.
Yeah, these guys were going to be signed.
Correct.
They were not going to enter next season with not being signed to a team.
No.
The guys that have already been signed.
But the rate in which people are signing, it's just, had this been the way that they did it for the last 5 off seasons, we wouldn't be talking about problems right now.
I mean, there's been a lot. How many have there been?
I honestly do not remember an off season where big names signed before January, February. Maybe there was a couple before Christmas, but especially in the last couple of years, it's been such a slow moving, developing hot stove, and all the hot takes are just all basically ice blocks because nobody's been doing anything for years. And now all of a sudden this year, they've got a deadline in place. They've got one more day to sort of sign as many guys as they can, and they're panicking and they're trying to get it done. Well, use this urgency is what you need to have for free agency, and we would not have a problem. You guys sit back and just, oh, we don't really want any of these guys. Nah, we'll see what happens in February. Hopefully someone else can. But it's you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's such a shame that this is happening, but it's inevitable.
Well, and it's been so crazy this first, like you've been talking about, this first couple of weeks. But I mean, in what, 24 hours, the league's probably going to shut down. Like when this episode comes out, we're probably going to be in a lockout.
Yeah.
And it was just so interesting that like they attacked it this aggressively. But I mean, they made the point on Talking Baseball that like these guys were going to be signed by opening day. These were not. So I don't know. It's been very entertaining, but now I feel like we're just about to have absolutely nothing for however long.
We should probably just talk about a couple of moves at a time then. So we can space them out over the course of the offseason.
I know.
Holy cow.
The first one that we want to hit on is our guy, Wander Franco. Got the big deal with the Rays. It was like blowing up social media. So he previously would have hit arbitration in 2023. So
now it's a club option for 2033.
$182 million, 11-year deal, club option for 2033 season. But the deal could be worth up to $223 million if it meets all of the incentives and the club options exercise. So we love that for our guy, Wander Franco.
You know what's really frustrating for me is the only take that I can have on this is I feel bad for Acuña.
Yeah. Gosh, Acuña got hosed. Every time I think of that deal, I'm like, he and Aussie, oh my gosh, when they got Aussie for what, 7 years? 30, 38 or something like that, yeah. I remember one of my friends in the league, I don't want to say the name because it's bad, but he just texted me and he was like, what is Aussie's agent doing? Like he could have gotten so much of a bigger contract and he got 35 or 38. That one is troubling, not troubling, but it's just not, that's the wrong word. That one to me, I don't know. Aussie's been hurt a little bit, right? So for him, the security of that kind of money from someone from Curacao to go home and take that to a family, you set yourself up for a few years. So it's hard for me to step in someone's shoes and go, you should definitely have not taken that. Yeah. When they're throwing a $35 million contract in front of you. But at the same time, if a player's willing to sign it, what's the team supposed to do? Yeah. So how much do you think Acuña would get if he were a free agent right now? Whatever Soto gets is the benchmark. Soto's going to get 400 and something. Gosh, I feel so bad for him with the Nationals. Like, here's the thing: if Soto was to sign the next
couple of years, then he's going to get 400. If he waits and if he plays it all out like he may do, then I don't know what that contract's going to look like, but it's still going to be massive. It's the if he signs now early, that'll be the 12, 13-year contracts that you're seeing right now. But if he waits until, all I know is it's going to be a lot of money.
Okay, well, what have been your big splash free agent signings? Which ones have made your jaw drop? I mean, obviously Max Scherzer.
That's exactly it. That kind of AAV has been talked about in the last couple of years based on we're not wanting to sign these guys to 10-year deals and have them, I call it the Pujols deal, because what Albert got paid for was what he had done. And unfortunately, the Angels paid him for what he'd done, and they got a bit out of him, but they certainly didn't get the numbers that they were expecting from him. But that's the way that free agency and the contracts worked back then. Now you're going to see more of these. You're at the end of your career. We want you for the first year and a half, 2 years, but we're going to pay you for 3, and we're going to overpay you for all of them. That's $42.5 million a year to throw once every 5 days.
And Max Scherzer also gets paid $15 million a year from the Nats.
From the Nats.
Jeez. And the point that Trevor was making, Trevor had the realization on Talking Baseball that Jacob deGrom has an opt-out like after next season, and he was like, he's going to get paid. He's going to go to Steve Cohen and be like, you want me to play? You want me to pitch alongside Max Scherzer for you? Give me 50 mil. Give me 50 mil a year. He thinks he's going to get, Jacob deGrom. But you go back to what the Mets have done. They also got Starling Marte. They also got Eduardo Escobar. Like they're putting, they got their big splash signing, but they're putting other pieces around.
Yeah.
And Starling Marte, is obviously a great pickup anywhere. And so is Eduardo Escobar.
Who was Stevie Cohen? Who was he complaining about that
was it Steven Matz? It was Steven
It
Matz.
was Steven Matz. Yes, it was Steven Matz. You remember how he called him out and said, "Oh, this."
The tweet was ridiculous.
That is absolutely hilarious to me. But I feel like he took that personally. Was like, okay, well, that's not going to happen again. I'm just going to overpay. I'm just going to throw cash at everyone because I've got unlimited funds. That's what it feels like. He's also the only owner that didn't go through the pandemic. So he bought the team after 2020. So everything that he's seen has been gravy. He didn't have to deal with the losses of the pandemic. So he's sitting there going, all right, well, I've got plenty of cash compared to everyone else. Let's go.
Yeah. What about Kevin Gausman? So happy for that dude.
Me too.
What was it? 5 years, $110 million. This dude was picked up off waivers by the Reds from the Braves in 2019, like the Braves. And he just found it in San Francisco. I am very surprised that he didn't stay there just because he was having so much success there. But he got paid, and he's a good. I've known that guy and his wife Taylor since college. That we went to LSU together, and I'm just so freaking happy for Kevin because he has always just been just a good dude. Even when he ran that campus at LSU, like he was the man on campus. Obviously, like LSU baseball is a big deal, and he was the ace of the staff. And he was just always so nice to everyone, and he always worked hard. And it's been so cool to watch his success build into what all LSU fans expected him to be when he got drafted 4th overall and whatever year that was.
He's certainly blossomed, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like he's gone away from trying to change the way that he was. Everybody tried to invent a new way for him to pitch. He's always really been that fastball split changeup kind of guy. He's had 2 different kinds of changeups, and everyone's trying to get him to make him throw a breaking ball. And I guess he just found a combination in San Fran that worked for him, and he hasn't let up. And it was kind of like a little bit where he kind of tapered off a little bit, and I thought, okay, well, this could be new. But then he just went, we went up there again. But yeah. Okay.
Texas Rangers. What? Talk about out of nowhere. Nobody was even talking about them. And then oh my gosh, Simeon, Seager, John Gray. Did y'all hear that dog outside?
Was that your dog?
No.
You got a dog now?
I had to even leave my cat in Houston. She's still in Houston with the cat.
Hold on. How long are you in Atlanta for?
Well, I leave Friday for Cincinnati because I'm going to watch my dear friend Joe Burrow play football and Jamar Chase. We're having a girls' weekend. So I'm flying to Cincinnati on Friday, and then I go back home on the 18th. So I'm without my little cat for 20 days. And Cincinnati plays on Saturday, and if they win, they're probably locking up a spot in the college football playoffs. So we're going to have quite the sports weekend up there.
Wow.
Texas Rangers.
Good on them. Extended Woodward, and they're going for it. I'm shocked, but this is the fun. This is the fun part of, I think, off seasons, is that you don't really know until it starts which teams are planning on going for it, and then all of a sudden, it's usually we're waiting till February to see who is going for it. But because of the climate currently, we know which teams are planning on making a run for it already. The teams that carried over the success from last year, who still have majority of their core left, Braves, Dodgers, those sorts of guys. But then there's the new ones like the Rangers, and Detroit seem like they're going to be going for it. And you know, it's I think it's good. I think.
But the Rangers can't be done. Like, they have to go out and get starting pitching now.
Yeah.
Who do you think they're going to get or go after? I mean, talking baseball, I was talking about them going after Kershaw.
I predicted that they were going to sign him just because he was a hometown hero. But the question still remains with the health of Kershaw. Like, it can't just be a feel good, bring Kersh home. You know, he wants to play here. Let's give him 40 mil. Like, it's got to be a smart deal as well. And I feel like they're making a lot of smart decisions at the moment. Simeon, awesome. Seager, awesome. Like,
John Gray, awesome. He pitched well in Colorado.
And how's the conversation pick going for Colorado? Oh, that's right.
Dude, the Rockies.
What is happening? God, Jake needs to save them. Jake's rocks.
Yeah. Hey, how did you feel about the Braves picking up Kirby Yates?
I texted him yesterday. It's such an Alex Anthopoulos move, right? 2 years before he signed or he went down, he was one of the best closers in the game.
He led the league in saves.
Correct.
In 2019.
Yeah, that was the first time as a full-time closer, really, too. So, and then he got hurt. So I think, I just spoke to him yesterday. He said he's going to be ready. He's going to be ready at some point next year. Not sure when, but he's going to be ready at some point, and then he's going to be ready for the year after that too. So, you know, plonk him at the back end of the night shift, and it's frightening.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody about the signing, and they were like, "Who's Kirby Yates?" And I was like, "Kirby Yates was the best closer in baseball in 2019. He just didn't throw a pitch in 2020, and then 2021 he got hurt because he didn't play last season. Am I getting my years mixed up? He didn't throw a pitch last season.
No, he signed with the Blue Jays, didn't throw a pitch. Yeah, but yes, I think it's a great sign. And O'Day, they bought O'Day back on a cheap deal. You know, the impact that he had on that bullpen when he was there. I was there in 2010 with him. But he's just a workhorse and a great leader to have in that clubhouse. Not that they lack that, but to add that on top of what they already have going there and obviously there's one thing missing, and if I can get that done before tomorrow, then every Braves fan in the world is going to be as happy as a pig in poo. Yeah,
there were the rumors going around today that who was it? The Yankees, the Dodgers, and was it the Angels were going hard after Freddie? Is that the tweet I saw?
I saw them jumping on a plane going somewhere, so I'm sure they're getting wooed around the country right now.
Oh, as he should, you know, like that's what I love for like college football recruits. I'm like, go on all your visits, like you earned this. Like,
yes, exactly.
Be wined and dined.
How does that work? So teams just bring guys in and show them around the campus and
oh yeah, but they have them like stay with another player, so the player like takes them out and shows them shows them the best time, like they're around pretty girls, they're, you know, people like know that it's a recruit, so the students who are at the bars are like, come to LSU, oh, we love you. Take all those visits. You live that life, and then make your decision.
Is there a way, and I'm just going to throw this out there, okay? Can somebody please invite Kelsey and I to come for a college visit? Because I have never ever given a college visit. The only college experience that I've ever had was we went to Georgia Southern as an under 16 Australian baseball team to play against Georgia Southern. So I got to see a little bit of campus. You're
coming to an LSU game with Casey and I next year. You and Mandy are coming to an LSU football game with us.
Okay, but I want to be a recruit. I want them to recruit me as if I'm going to come and play for them. Come and recruit me. I don't just want to go watch.
I think they're busy recruiting the people who are their actual
players. Right. Yeah, that makes sense. It's not going to cost them anything. Just give me a little bit of their time. Show me what it's like. Show me what it's like to be recruited. I was never in Baseball America. I was never in top draft pick. I was never in anything.
Dang. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Merry Christmas. Hello.
Hello. So if you had to put money on it right now,
Yes.
what's your percentage of Freddie staying in Atlanta or leaving?
And I can say this because I've not spoken to Freddie since the offseason about this. So I can say that I think that the chances of Freddie signing back with Atlanta are about 77%.
Okay.
I think he wants to be there. They want him to be there. They both know what number it's going to take. Liberty Media has just made record profits. If they don't sign Freddie Freeman, it's going to be a really, really bad look, and they're going to lose a lot of loyal Braves fans, I think.
Well, especially because the numbers are floating around that it's 6 years, 160. 160, pay him. Pay the man. If that's where we're at with the numbers, I don't know. My brain was at 65-35, just because they would probably love to be out in California. You know, I mean, that's where his dad is. That's where they live in the off season. Like, they'd probably love that.
So the whole, but what about the taxes? Well, he's already paying the taxes. He lives out there, so that's not going to faze him. Does
he have to pay double taxes on his income?
So the way it works is we have to pay tax in every single state that we play in. We file 15, 16 different tax returns in every state. Like we have to,
So is that why so many spring trainings are in Florida? So the guys don't have to pay?
I think that's purely weather. We don't get paid during spring training. So it's purely the weather.
Dang, okay.
Yeah.
The more you know.
We just get meal money during spring training.
What about Robbie Ray to the Mariners?
I just picked up on that. So thank you. But that's a long contract for a guy that has had a couple of good years, huh?
Yeah. I didn't know who he was until this year.
You haven't seen him in his tight pants and his...
Nope, not until this year. Could not have told you what team he played for, could not have told you that his pants are 2 sizes too small, could not have relayed any of that to you until this season.
Right. Well, he's really only, he had a great year. There's no denying he was probably, and he went through the East too. It wasn't like he was in the AL Central facing Detroit every week. He was facing some bangers. So
another one that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
I kind of love the Tigers. They got Baez.
Akil Badu.
They have Badu. They have Mize. They have Tarek Skubal. They have Green. I mean, they have a really good young core, and if they pull the right strings this offseason, they could be a threat next year, especially in that division.
Yeah, I think Correa is probably a chance to go there, honestly. I picked him to go to the Yankees, and then he came out and said that Derek Jeter didn't deserve any Gold Gloves, and I was like, well, that might be a bad pick.
That wasn't. I don't know. That was.
Then I had him maybe go on the Rangers, but now it's got it. I mean, where else could he go and get a contract unless he decides to back himself and go, you know what, I'll just sign a 1-year, $40 million deal somewhere and see if I can't get it next year, because I don't know.
Okay, so what surprised you the most? The Rangers?
Yeah, but not really, because this is how it's supposed to work. You rebuild for a couple of years and then you go out and you make a splash and you see what you can do. It's the script that everyone seems to be following. But I'm shocked that they've gone as hard as they have. That's for sure. And I honestly think that Cohen just got his feelings hurt and just was going to go pay Max Scherzer or whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to be like a measure of how pitchers are going to get paid for the offseason. I just think he just wanted to make a splash.
Was there any move by any team that you didn't like?
Not really. It's as long as guys are getting signed right now, I can't fault anybody. I don't know. As long as they're signing them to win, that's all I care about. It can't just be signing them so that they can get themselves above the perceived whatever the spending floor might be.
Yeah.
I want people to genuinely be spending because they want to make their teams better and they want to actually win and fight for a playoff spot instead of just being involved in this game that 14 teams are competing for a championship. And I want everyone showing up to spring training with the chance to think that they're going to go to the playoffs. And unfortunately, there's a lot of young guys that are just showing up and they know that it's not even in their future. Baltimore. What?
Oh. Athlete.
Just embarrassing franchise.
Do you have any predictions?
Because that's it. I can predict whatever you want me to predict. Give me something to try. Give me something. Come on, Kels. You can't just. You've got any predictions?
What will I have for dinner?
I think you're going to have. Are you going to be having dinner in Atlanta, or are you going to be traveling this evening?
I am committed to my couch for the rest of the evening.
Are you solo?
Yes.
Are you having any girlfriends come over or bring food, or are you going to order Uber Eats, or are you going to cook for yourself?
I have one thing to cook here or Uber Eats.
I think you're going to order Uber Eats because that didn't feel like you were really primed to throw something on the hot plate right now.
Yeah, it's pasta. So it's just like, I got to find like some kind of protein. So.
No, just jump on your phone. I don't even know what's around you, but I'm sure there is some fire around that little area that you live in.
I love
North Georgia.
My little area. How many big splash signings are you going to say happened before the lockout?
How many hours have we got left before the lockout?
Isn't it 11:59, December 1st?
So
I think like 30 hours.
30 hours.
Not a math company though. So like
there will be, Maddie, write this down. A minimum 20 signings between now and the deadline. 20 more signings. What?
You think it's just going to explode? And then, well, the Marlins just signed Sandy Alcantara.
Extended.
Alcantara.
Yep, that's the extension.
So a 5-year contract extension.
The biggest extension for a pitcher that hasn't reached arbitration yet.
Aww.
And worth every cent, by the way. I honestly do think there's going to be that many. Look at how many free agents are still now. The big ones, like if Freddie signs, if that's when I'll be like, okay, well, that's when everything else will start.
Do you think Freddie will sign before the lockout?
I hope so.
Dang.
Just for his sake, for everybody's sake. I just hope that it's done. As someone said on Twitter, I can't remember who it was, but someone was like, I just wanted Freddie to sign either with the Braves or someone else, so I know whether to be happy or to move on.
Yeah. Well, we want to get into the Arizona Fall League because these are some of the best prospects in baseball. We've talked to you about it every year. I mean, every podcast now. These are the best guys in baseball. And if you want to be at your best, then you probably need to check out Roman. So Roman, if you go to getroman.com/fame, you're able to speak to a U.S. licensed healthcare professional about erectile dysfunction. You'll get $15 off your first month of treatment. And we've said this stat before, but ED is way more common than people think. It's 52% of men between the ages of 40 and 70 are going to experience some form of AD. So Roman, their system is completely confidential, totally discreet. There's no big logos or labels on the packages, which we love. And with Roman, you can get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for your ED, all from the comfort and privacy of your own home. So you don't got to get in your car. You don't got to drive to any office. You don't got to sit in any waiting room, straight from your couch. So it's super straightforward and easy. Like we said, 2-day discreet shipping. So getting started is super simple. If you just go to getroman.com/fame and complete an online visit. If you're prescribed anything, you will get $15 off your first month of ED treatment. Make sure you're ready to have the confidence and control this fall that our guys in the Arizona Fall League had over in Arizona, okay? Because the Mesa, I'm not cultured, Mesa, Solar Sox, these names, defeated the surprise
Saguaros.
Yep, that's what he said. I can't roll my R's. In the championship game, they won 6-0. So the Solar Sox who won, that team was funneled by players from the Orioles, the Cubs, the Marlins, the Athletics, and the Blue Jays. So Caleb Killian was a guy who they talked a lot about in that game because he was a star. He pitched 6 perfect innings with 8 strikeouts, Pete. 6 perfect innings in the championship game.
That'll work usually. I had a buddy of mine that was actually an Aussie guy that was in that. He played for Surprise and he got to watch. He didn't pitch, but he got to watch that. And for me to get that, I've always looked at the Arizona Fall League as just like massive prospects and a chance for these guys to show their stuff. But he's not a massive prospect. He just got lucky enough to be able to get invited and go and experience. And it's just a different level of baseball. And his excitement has lifted since being able to play in something like the Arizona Fall League. So
Caleb Killian was one of the return pieces from the Giants to the Cubs for Chris Bryant.
Where's Chris Bryant going to go? Sorry, I keep jumping all over the place. There's so many things to talk about.
Also, JJ Bleday, 2 RBI. We love that. He didn't have a great regular season and had a really good fall league. And that's good to see. So they announced the year-end awards, Pete.
Pitcher of the year goes to Owen White from the Rangers in 28.1 innings. He had a 1.91 ERA, 13 walks, a little high, 29 punches. That'll work, and a 1.16 whip. The co-hitter of the year was your boy JJ Bleday from the Marlins. 24 games, a 316 average, 8 doubles, 2 triples, 5 home runs. That's a great Arizona Fall League. 24 RBIs and a 1.035 OPS. And the other co-hitter of the year was Juan Yepes of the Cardinals, who had 23 games, hit 302 with 8 doubles, 7 dingers, 26 RBIs, and a 1.028 OPS. Congratulations to you. The breakout player of the year was Elijah Dunham from the Yankees. In 23 games, he hit 357. Okay, that'll work. 6 doubles, 3 triples, 2 home runs, 14 RBIs, only 10 punch outs.
Wow.
11 stolen bases, and a 1.037 OPS.
Sir.
A lot of 1 dots going on here. Defensive player of the year is Jackson Clough from the Nationals. 22 games at shortstop with 50 putouts, 74 assists, and 1 error, giving him a 99.2 fielding percentage, which turning 24 double plays. 24 double plays. Was I pitching the whole time? Reliever of the year goes to Graham Spraker from the Blue Jays.
I love that last name. I mean, that's a solid name.
11 games, 11 innings, standard. 0 ERA, standard. 4 hits, 2 walks, 17 punches.
2 walks to 17 Ks.
And a .53 whip.
Jeez Louise. We also want to shout out the Cubs number 29 prospect, Nelson Velasquez. If you follow our social media at all, you have seen Maddie tweeting about him a ton throughout the AFL. He won no awards. No, none for you, but he had great numbers. So he had 26 games. He hit 385. 385.
Why is he not winning?
Why would he not win hitter of the year? He had better average, more home runs.
Yeah, I was going to say his 385 was 2 off of the leader for average as well.
So this guy almost won the Triple Crown. He didn't win the co-hitter. What numbers am I not looking? What
The other 2 hitters of the year hit 316 and 302, and he led the league in home runs. He had 9. The other co-hitters had 5 home runs, 7 home runs. He had 24 RBI.
Can either of you please make this make sense?
The only negative was that he led the league in strikeouts, but
I do not care if he's still hitting 385. I do not care.
You heard it first, guys. Strikeouts don't matter.
I don't know who's really deciding these things, but the Arizona Fall League just posted their award winners. I don't know if it's like a vote.
Is he gonna win like MVP or something that hasn't been announced yet?
That could be what it is. Maybe. We should, here's what we do. This makes up for everything. We announce him as the Farm to Fame Arizona Fall League MVP and send him something. That'll make up for everything. It's not going to be in the almanac, but you're going to be in our hearts, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's so silly.
It's really
so silly. Okay. Well, y'all want to hop on a flight, grab your dugout mug, because we're headed to the Dominican Winter League next. Okay. So it's the holidays. If you've been doing your Christmas shopping yet, you probably need to get on that. Okay, folks. And the dugout mugs make the best gifts for every baseball fan because it's unique and it's something that they're actually going to use and that they're going to think is really cool. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? So if you've been listening to us for a while now, you probably already have a dugout mug because we've talked about it now and everybody in our company is obsessed with them. I have a shot glass here, my regular mug there. I want to see the metal mugs really bad. So
If you have a base in your life, a dad, husband, brother, sister, girlfriend, wife, anybody, you can go ahead to dugoutmugs.com and use the code JOMBOY to get you 30% off site wide. So the metal mug, like I said, is the only metal bat mug on the market. That's a newer one that I would really love to see. They have the wine glasses, which your girl would probably like because I would really like those.
Are you dropping hints right now? Are you dropping hints? Casey, if you're watching.
No. So, and they're legit. They have over 18,000 5-star reviews. They're legit. The product's really, really good quality stuff. But you need to go to dugoutmugs.com because I don't know what shipping's like and the world's kind of crazy right now. So you use JOMBOY, get you 30% off. So everybody got their dugout mug. We're going on an airplane and we're going down to the Dominican Winter League. And we want to shout out Sam Dystra for helping us with some of this info because he has been on this stuff. So these are some names to keep an eye on.
Okay.
Because they've started off well.
Yes.
So Cutter Crawford.
Another great name, by the way. Holy cow.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Cutter with a K.
Yeah.
Red Sox. Red Sox prospect, 5 games started for 21 and a third innings pitched, where he has a league leading 0.42 ERA among qualified pitchers. 1 earned run in 5 starts, and he's only walked 8 while striking out 23. He has a 1.08 whip.
Good for him.
Cutter Crawford.
Okay.
Best name in baseball.
You want me to go next?
Yeah.
This is your guy, though. Ethan Small. See how I said that? Said it like an American. Ethan Small.
Small.
He's Australian. Small. Started with 2 scoreless starts before 1 outing of 3 earned runs. His 1.80 ERA is 4th best amongst qualifiers. Overall, in 5 games started, 20. That's obviously by design, it seems like. These numbers are way too even for it not to be.
Oh, I love how beautiful that is.
1.8. If you like that, look at my 2007 stat line real quick. 5 games, 20 innings, 1.8 ERA, 6 walks, 17 Ks, and a 1.15 whip. Ethan Small, shout out to you.
You said 2007?
2007, yeah.
So in 80 games, you had a 180 ERA,
How many innings?
90 innings pitched.
80 games, 90 innings, 1.80 ERA.
Yeah. Love that for you.
Thank you. Ronnie Mauricio with the Mets, 24 games, 253 average, 22 hits, 5 doubles, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, a 6.57 OPS. Nah.
Hello. Passing.
Go ahead.
Marlins acquired Joey Wendle from the Rays.
For
I kind of like it.
pitching, surely.
Doesn't say.
Sending pitching. That's all they've got.
The Rays needed to clear 40-man space for Corey Kluber, so that it makes sense that they had to get rid of somebody.
But Joey Wendle.
What are the Phillies doing? The Marlins are like 6th in money spent on free agents so far in 2 weeks.
You expecting the Phils to make a splash?
I just feel like everybody in the NL East that needs to is, I mean, everybody besides the Braves, but the Braves don't necessarily need their splash, just needs to be Freddie. And obviously like they'll pick up some other guys, but like they just won the World Series. Like they're fine. The Mets are going absolutely bonkers.
Yes, they are.
The Marlins made some pretty savvy signings. The Nationals are dead, and the Phillies
Hold on,
have
official.
underperformed.
What date is it? It is the 1st of December in Australia, and Kelsey has pronounced the Nationals dead.
Nationals are dead, and the Phillies have underperformed. And I mean, I don't understand that team at all. They have gone out. They started their splashes with JT Realmuto. They got Bryce Harper. They got some big pitching names over there. I know Aaron Nola didn't have an Aaron Nola season last year, but like they're just sitting on their tums right now. Tums.
Yeah, but
okay. I want to talk about Ronnie because he's hitting 253, but he's the Mets 3 overall prospect. So overall, the bat's there, Maddie.
Yeah.
but he just needs to be a little bit more disciplined. So you're saying that he's appearing a little swing happy, which kept his OPP below 300 this past season, has gotten him 271 strikeouts in 306 pro games.
So, but he's also making a lot of errors too. So is it just
Yeah.
it just needs to clean everything up a little bit right now?
Yeah, the point that I was trying to make was I think that the bat, just with maturity, can come around. He's still young, obviously. He's a little bit swing happy, strikes out a little much, but overall, the bat's not going to kill him. However, when you pair that bat with pretty bad defense, which
Yeah.
I'll let you guys further explain, but when you pair that bat with bad defense, that's when what are we looking at overall?
Right. Lack of discipline. I don't know. In 20 games in LIDOM, he's at 11 errors. So it's an 87% fielding percentage, which isn't very good as your number one infielder position. He's got a lifetime 93.8 fielding percentage. In 2021, 21 MLB players played enough games to qualify for defensive metrics at shortstop. The last place amongst those 21 was Gleyber Torres. It's his 95.2 fielding percentage. So he would have been dead last in. So it just seems like maybe it's a maturity, it's a growth thing that needs to put a little bit more of a intensity or more of a focus on getting himself to where he needs to be rather than just expecting it all to happen.
Yeah, his lifetime fielding percentage, like you said, 93.8, not only puts him last place among qualified shortstops, but it's 104th out of all 120 players that even played an ounce of shortstop this past season in the MLB. So again, still young, still has the room for improvement, but like you're saying, I think it's something that he has to put work into. I mean, I guess my question and where I was trying to lead with this, my question for you guys, I mean, the Mets have locked up Lindor for a while, and he's obviously a pretty darn good shortstop. So is it in the Mets' best interest to try and play him elsewhere? Because he has never played a position outside of shortstop and a little bit of DH. So should they start trying him at second? Should they just trade him and move on? I don't know. That's where I leave it up to you guys.
I feel like he's pretty respected in the prospect world and among
Yes.
teams right now. So I feel like, especially the point that you made about them having Lindor, I feel like now I don't know.
Shortstops typically are great athletes. So I don't see a position change would be out of the ordinary for someone like him, especially if he's struggled at shortstop. A lot of guys have struggled at shortstop position. You can be a shortstop right the way through your career and get to the big leagues and go, you know what, I'm not cut out for this. Move into third, move into second, put me in the outfield, something. You know, it's maybe the defense is affecting his hitting, or maybe the hitting is affecting his defense. Maybe everything's just come to a head right now. He needs to change the scenery, and he needs to just find somewhere where and that's the thing, you go somewhere new and you're instantly loved by these people. Like it's, oh, wow, they're excited to have you. You're getting pushed away from a team that you've been with for however many years, and they're kind of, you've reached your peak there. Change of scenery. This could be the ultimate change of scenery guy.
Good point, Peter.
Thanks, girls.
You're welcome.
Speaking of good points, do you want to see the first ever 2021 $2 gold coin that I found in Australia? Look at that.
Yeah.
It is actually a Dorothy the Dinosaur $2 coin.
There's a dinosaur on there?
That's actually the Queen's head.
Oh.
So that's the
Sorry,
Queen. And then if you turn it.
Oh, no.
Did you call her the dinosaur because she's old?
No, Dorothy the Dinosaur actually is a kid's character on the back of the $2 coin in Australia. So if you guys can see
There's
that.
a kid's character on the back of a coin? How cute is that? Looks like a little
Yeah.
bumblebee.
It does. So that's worth $2 over here. You wouldn't believe about it. Anyway, we don't have $1 notes. We have $1 coins and $2 coins.
The Marlins sent back outfield prospect Cameron Misner. He was the
Ooh.
Marlins number 21 prospect.
So here I am thinking that's got to be pitching.
Cameron Misner, he had a decent fall league for power hitting, 7 home runs, which is among the league leaders, 14 RBIs. That gave him an 885 OPS, which is decent across 23 games. However, the average is low, 205. So maybe that's why they were trying to plan a little bit to move on. He got promoted to AA towards the end of the regular season, and he hit 309 there with an 878 OPS. So
That's
Yeah.
okay. Normally the jump from A ball to AA is it's a bit adjustment period, so that's good.
He was the 35th overall pick in the 2019 draft out of Missouri, reached AA last season from
Oh.
Ken Rosenthal.
Give me 1 second.
Okay, while we're giving you 1 second, one other guy we wanted to hit on in the Arizona Fall League was Ryan Royalson for the Rockies, probably the only positive we've said about the Rockies. They have 5 games, 20 innings, 3.15 ERA, 24 Ks, third best in the league. I love the Rockies. I want them to be good.
Hey, Mark.
Oi, you're on live on my podcast right now, so keep it clean. But what do you know about Cameron Misner?
Cam Meisner.
Meisner, yeah.
Meisner.
Yeah, he's good. He can hit the ball a long way.
He just got traded to
To the Braves.
no. Where did he get traded to?
To the Rays.
To the Rays for Joey Wendle.
Oof. Yeah, I went to college with him. He's a great dude.
Great dude.
Swings and misses a lot.
Right.
But if he figures that out, he can really hit.
Okay. He hit pretty good in AA this year, and he went to the Fall League, had pretty good numbers in the Fall League. You reckon he's figured something out?
You reckon I can what?
You reckon he's figured something out?
Yeah, he could have.
Lots of swings and misses, you said?
Yeah.
Righto. Thanks for the insight.
But he's an outfielder. He can run too. He's big, but he can run. He probably plays center field.
I like it. My man. All right. I'll call you back. See you.
Thank you. Who are we just speaking to?
His name is Robbie Glendinning. He's a prospect in the Pirates organization, Australian man who went to Mizzou also. And
Oh,
it's interesting.
very nice. Do you want to
Very
talk
nice.
about Oliver Ortega?
I do. Oliver Ortega, goodness gracious. Got called up in September and made 8 relief outings, 5 earned runs. He's now in LIDOM. In 12 appearances, he's thrown 12 innings, 1 earned run. That's good enough for a .75 ERA with 15 ponches and 3 walks. Talk about turning it around.
Love that.
I wish that's one thing I do regret is I've never went and played winter ball. Well, I kind of did in Australia, but it doesn't count. There's a difference between
I would
winter
have
ball.
played for all of those teams. I would have
Did you?
gone to all of the places.
So Chris Medlin was telling me that they used to have a Hawaiian winter league. He played in Hawaii. He played in Alaska winter league.
That would be me, 1000%.
Really?
Yeah, I'd be
You just-
traveling the world.
Well, I did that, I guess. I did
Yeah,
that.
you've lived the world. I haven't ever left this side of the world. You've lived on both sides. That's pretty neat.
Have you never left America?
I've left America, but I haven't gone anywhere outside of the Caribbean, Mexico, and North America. Like I've never been anywhere in South America. I've never been anywhere in Europe.
Maddie, you know what I'm hearing?
Hmm.
I'm hearing a European road trip. There's baseball over there,
Peter
guys.
loves talking about us doing these road trips, and I really hope that we actually do one day.
I've got 4 lined up already, so we're just gonna be world travelers.
Okay, so there are other international winter leagues going on. So Brian Rocio for the Guardians, he's in the Venezuelan league. He's hitting 391 right now. Before Cleveland added him to the 40-man roster, asked him to be taken out of the league, so he's no longer there. That's sad. 17 games, 391. Tirso Almleas for the Padres, he's in the Mexican league.
I think Maddie just picked. I don't think Maddie even looked at stats. I just think he looked at names. It was like, what's the hardest names I can pick for Kelsey right here?
No, seriously. He leads the league through 41 games, hitting 386 and 14 doubles, while coming in third for OPS at 939. So Aussie Lingo, because Peter's an Australian, so it's super fitting that
super
we
fitting.
do Aussie
Do
Lingo.
you want me to stand up and take you outside so we can do Aussie Lingo outside in Australia?
Please do.
Okay.
I'll be offended if you don't.
I'm going to take my microphone. I'm going to take my headphones. Am I plugged in? No. I'm
Is
not. Okay.
Leilani still sitting at the table?
No, she's upstairs now. Okay. So, by the way, these are like, we need to get these doors. I know we have them in America, but
Wow, that's pretty neat.
okay. Okay, Aussie Lingo. Live.
Can we dedicate this Aussie lingo to Casey's sister, Mary Michael, who loves you
Yes.
and listens to Farm? That's terrible lighting. You need to turn the
Mary
other way.
Michael, this is for you.
Mm.
Granny flat.
Granny flat. Like a slipper.
Mm.
Mm.
That's good. I'm going with the stoop in front of a house because grandmas always are sweeping the front stoop.
Really? No. That's what we call a mother-in-law suite over here in Australia. And I was driving around.
Say it
and
again?
The reason why, granny flat.
Okay.
So we were driving around. I was like, oh, check out the granny flat. And Mandy was like, what did you just say? I said, the granny flat above the garage over there? You mean the mother-in-law apartment above the? No, the granny flat, honey. So that's why I decided today was going to be the Aussie Lingo. So
Very
there's a story
nice.
behind it.
Great
Okay.
lighting.
Thank you.
What time of day is it there now? 10?
It is.
Is Mandy up?
Yeah, it's
Is she a morning
10:20.
person?
No.
Dang, that house looks really cool. Keep going.
Okay. This is where
Whoa.
I'm staying. And this is it's all like it's not like your roses and your pretty flowers, but it's all natural, like Australian fauna, I guess you'd call it. So it's beautiful in its own way, if that makes sense.
Beautiful.
I should do all my podcasts like this. What do you think? Like the traveling podcast guy, where he just moves his computer around and just, hey, brother, hello.
Okay. Well, you tell family that I said hello. Free agency is going crazy, so we're just going to keep up with that. And I think next week when we record this episode, we're going to have to figure out what the heck and bob we're going to do, because we're likely going to be in a little bit of a lockout. So we might just play games. Okay.
Excellent.
So we love you guys. Farm
sure do.
on, farm often. Pete's in Australia. Yeah.
Yep. V-necking my way through Australia.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next Wednesday. Keep up with free agency. Get Jeff Passan notified on Twitter, for goodness sakes.
I don't need to. He texts me.
We love y'all. Have a great, happy holidays. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Peace.